Hey team, it's Laura. I'm a community artist in Minnesota, and I am working on this video podcast where I kind of just talk to you. There's not really a theme. The title of the podcast is Tangential and Verbose because that is how I was described in my autism diagnostic report, and it's such an apt description of me. Um, that that phrase stuck in my head. So here we are, tangential and verbose. I don't know what episode this is. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about accessibility and what that means to me and what that means in my space that I'm cultivating, my community that I'm crafting as a community artist. The community that I'm crafting, accessibility is, I don't know if it's the most important thing. I want to say that it's the most important thing, but somehow I think maybe there's something that is more important that I'm forgetting. So, suffice it to say that accessibility is very high on my mind. My family includes people who use wheelchairs, people who have mobility aids that they need for their feet and ankles in order to walk or run better. I have family members who use various mobility aids when they are out and about, even if they walk at home. They use a bike or a manual wheelchair or a walker or a cane when they're out and about, even though at home they don't need those things because they're in their familiar space. And I'm autistic and I have ADHD and I have OCD and I have social phobia, which is the only reason it's taken me so long to start making videos. But I realized I could think about you, audience, as whoever I want. And so if I think of you as my closest few friends, my trusted peoples who are safe for me, and know that until I'm ready to share it with more people, I don't have to. I don't have to post this video at all. And because of that, I'm able to unmask more. If you are autistic, you know what I mean. Unmasking is super hard, and if we can do it, it's super valuable. But often, people who are diagnosed late in life, like I was, um, we have worn our various masks and gotten in the habit of wearing them for so long that they are all stuck to us. We can't release them in the way of leaving that delicious pot from the pasta, that pot left over from the delicious pasta. If you leave that extra sauce on that pot for a long time, it's going to be so much harder to get off, right? Same thing with autistic masks. So, substances help. For me, it's medical cannabis. And when I say substances, what I would have preferred to say is mood altering or mind altering in some way. There are many substances that do this. Breath work, I hear, does this, though I haven't tried it yet, etc. So, cannabis makes you accessible to me. Not in the way that I can reliably leave my house or drive or even ride in a car, but I can still talk to you. I can still meet you. You are not in my house, and you don't need to ever come here. And we may never speak in person or face to face in any way. But if you're watching this, you're part of my community, and I appreciate you and value you, and I want this space to be accessible for you. So, I just finished my accessibility policy first draft, so I'm gonna share it with you. Again, first draft. Who knows what happens with this in the future? If you hear this and you have suggestions, please tell me. I really want to make my content as accessible as possible. So, here's the policy. For me, accessibility equals safety. If something is accessible, it needs to be safe. When I say something is accessible, what I mean is that I intend for it to be safe for everyone. My hope is to also make it easy for everyone, but I hold no illusions about my ability to do so. If my content is ever inaccessible or unsafe for you in a big or small way, please communicate so that I can fix it. Accessibility for me also comes or requires ease. If something is accessible, for me, it needs to be easy. My intention is to make my content easy for you to consume. I plan to always caption my videos and to carefully edit the automatic captions within a few days of the video posting, if applicable. If I use the automatic captions, I guess is what I mean there. Whenever possible, I will try not to release content until it is completely accessible. I will never put my content behind any sort of paywall. I will try to use words that are simple and easy to understand. I will definitely swear because swearing doesn't usually cause harm to other people when done properly. I hope my content is easy for you to access, whoever you are. If not, I'd love feedback on how to make it easier. The last thing that's really important to me about accessibility is that for something to be accessible, it needs to be free. I have money and privilege, and therefore I am not forced to participate in capitalism very much. I do not need money, and I do not plan to ever put any of my content behind a paywall. If I ever publish anything in physical form, I will endeavor to do so only after all of the content is already online somewhere. If you see my content anywhere associated with advertising, or if you had to watch an ad to get to me, or if you had to pay money of any kind to access that content, that's wrong. That's not me. Tell me so I can fix it, please. This will continue to be true in the future, unless my financial situation changes such that I no longer have privilege in that area. So at some point, if I lose monetary privilege, meaning that the majority of society around me has more money than I do, at that point, I will be okay with monetizing my content, but I don't foresee that. I promise you these things, audience. Please hold me accountable. The day I wrote this was February 17th, 2026 at Monarch Guildhall, which is my house, in New Hope, Minnesota. What accessibility measures in your life have helped you the most? Will you tell me in the comments? Thanks. Love you. Bye.